Welcome back to our complete guide to horror movies ranking series. For this video, we're counting down the top 10 most unfair Saw traps. This list is based on my own personal opinion, so while you may think differently, please feel free to let me know in the comments below, keep it respectful. And I will state up front that my two co-hosts, BP and Coop, have wildly differing opinions, so let's get into it.
I want to play a game.
Number 10, The Ton Train from Spiral. The game is apparently so simple. Rip your tongue out before the impending train rams into you, but the amount of blood loss this would cause would easily render the victim dead within minutes. It's a silly take on a Saw trap that requires too much suspension in disbelief and is ultimately unfair for whoever he is. Honestly, I could not give two shits about Spiral. Number 9, Guts and Glory from Saw. Amanda's cellmate was gutted as part of Amanda's reverse bear trap test, and he's merely a prop in this. There's nothing really else to say about this one apart from Soz, you deserve better, mate. Number 8, Hot Wax from Spiral. Another Spiral entry. This trap requires Marisol Nichols, aka Hermione from Riverdale, aka Captain Angie, whatever the hell her name is in Spiral, to sever her spinal cord or face gallons of hot wax poured on her. It's not clear how exactly her severing her spinal cord will render the hot wax from spilling on her, and even then, if she does sever her spinal cord, she'll be unable to move. While it's a more creative trap idea, especially for Spiral, it needed more explanation and something else to give Angie a fighting chance of survival. Also, I fucking love Marisol Nichols as an actress, so hands off. Number 7, Shotgun Collar, Saw 3. Poor Lynn, she was never going to win. With Hoffman threatening Amanda, Lynn was doomed before Saw 3 even began. Despite winning in her attempts to keep John Kramer alive throughout most of Saw 3, she was ultimately wasted due to not only Amanda skitzing out, but also her own husband or ex-husband or whatever he's supposed to be, killing John, resulting in the shotgun collar going off. While it's not necessarily unfair in nature, there's just too many outside influences that would render Lynn unable to survive, and for this, she's on the list. Number 6, Shotgun Carousel, Saw 6. You're telling me John Kramer would purposely kill 4 out of 6 insurance employees just for the sake of one game? Well, actually, to be fair, he did kill Amanda's cellmate in the first Saw, but this feels like bad script writing where a big trap took precedence over any logic, especially within Jigsaw's own motivations with Cherish Your Life and whatnot. But yeah, honestly, while the 4 out of the 6 insurance employees do die quick deaths, for me it's the terror of facing the shotgun, going around and around wondering if you're going to survive, and the fact that you only have a 33% chance of surviving this makes this unfair compared to other traps. And I'm not saying compared to other traps in Saw 6 where someone was always destined to die, but more around the series as a whole. Number 5, The Bathroom from Saw. The first of many fuck-ups by Amanda Young, Adam initially had a key to free himself but was left to die in the bathroom after the key went through the drain. He was shot by Dr. Gordon after being instructed to do so in his game. There's no possible way either of them could have won, especially in line with Zepp's game. One of them had to die. If not, Dr. Gordon's family would have died. To be honest, I don't really give a fuck about Adam, and I do not want to see any discourse about Adam's going to appear in Saw 10, so let's move on. Number 4, The Oxygen Crusher, Saw 6. As much as I do love Saw 6, this test was merely an excuse to up the body count and be the trial for William's game. Him being paired with the smoking, overweight janitor is a great metaphor for how William's insurance company denies coverage to those who truly need it, but it's also more in line with Amanda Young's unwinnable trap mindset. It's not particularly exciting or inventive either, and we're just waiting to see the janitor die at this point. So not only is it unfair, it's just kind of fucking boring. Number 3, The Classroom Trap, Saw 3. Yes, we all know Amanda rigged the trap so they were unwinnable, blah blah blah. What makes this even more unfair, however, is not the fact that the door is welded shut, but for me, it's the particular chain placement in Troy's jaw. Is he supposed to rip his entire jaw off? He died from the blood loss immediately. His chains in his Achilles tendons would also mean he cannot walk. So not only is this a scripting issue, it's also just more of a logical fallacy. It's like, if he does rip those chains out, does he then just lay on the floor and get killed by the bomb going off anyway? It should be noted too, in the original script, Troy would also have chains in his teeth, his fingernails, and eyelids, and also be suspended from the ceiling. A bit much for the third installment. The fact he removed the chains from his feet are already horrifying, but this is straight up fuckery from Amanda. Troy deserved better. Number 2. The Silent Circle, Saw, the final chapter. This turned me off fishing forever, although not really that hard considering I'm not straight. But to win this trap, Bobby must unlodge the hook from whatever her name is, stomach, all while ensuring she doesn't scream from pain, otherwise the sharp objects will pierce her throat. Oh, and he has to do it all within minutes. It's a bullshit game designed to up the body count. I will give it points for creativity and giving us a truly nasty saw trap, but that's where the praise stops. Now, before we get into number 1, honorable mentions go out to the scalping chair in Saw 4. A test so easily avoidable, yet whatever her name is gets her scalp torn off by not telling Rick to just fuck off, or explaining if he walks into the room, she will be harmed. She could have easily just said something to stop him from activating that trap. And spotlighting the trap from the Jigsaw series, we have Ryan and Anna, again a victim of miscommunication. Plus, I know a lot of people are wondering, what about other traps from the Saw series? Well, in short, while a lot of the traps are unfair, most of them could be easily winnable. Take the opening trap from Saw 2. He could have wedged the chair legs in between the mask and his face so he doesn't get too seriously hurt. Likewise with the fatal fight from Saw 5. They could have easily worked together to all stay alive. We already see that in the end part of that film, but I mean, seriously, were these people bored yesterday? I don't understand it. Anyways, on to the most unfair trap, and I'm sure we all know what it is. Number 1. The Brazen Bull, Saw the final chapter. Joyce didn't even fucking know what was going on with her husband and yet has the most painful trap as a result. I really don't fucking understand it. I mean, the callback with the Brazen Bull looks more like a spaceship than an iron pig oven or whatever they keep changing the name of the trap is. Design-wise, it does fit in with similar traps and kill sequences, particularly the Final Destination 3 tanning bed setup. But the fact it happened to someone who literally had no involvement with Bobby or his lies is straight up bullshit. The fact that Joyce can't even escape this trap herself, I mean, there was no way she could have hoisted herself off that thing. It looked like that iron pick oven was also quite big. I mean, we see the chains drag her down literally closer and closer, so how the hell was she supposed to get out? I mean, fuck you, Bobby. If you like this episode, give us a like, share, tip, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Check out our ranking series of all the Ghostface killers from Scream. And if you hated this episode, please go fuck yourself. Bye.
Hey, squirrel friend. When one video ends, just open up another one. It's called binge viewing. Alright, I support you.